In today's video, I'm going to bring you through the exact same creative infrastructure and process overall of an 8-figure brand and pretty much all 8-figure brands that I've spoken to or I've worked with. And hey, if you don't know who I am, my name is Brando. I actively work with 7 and 8-figure businesses and brands just like this one that you're seeing on front of your screen. And if there's one main difference, if I have to explain everything into one word or one problem, it's the creative infrastructure. There's always a major difference between what the 7-figure brands do compared to what the 8-figure brands do, the big boys, right? So let me just refresh so you know this is real and we can get the proof out of the way. And let's get right into it. Now, this is exactly a diagram that I want to go through right now just to get right into that flow. Now, I'll actually to scale to 30K plus days. Now, which is of course an 8-figure run rate. Now, these are just some of my own other clients, 30K a day, 40K a day, $264,000 in a day. Like, to get to this scale, guys and gals, you need to understand that you need some sort of creative understanding and creative infrastructure and process. And I just finished the call right now with a prospect or somebody that was interested in working with us. And I just finished explaining that the major difference is creatives and understanding why things work and just overall systems, processes, infrastructure, right? All these things, the 7-figure brands just don't have. Now, let's go into in depth and let's talk about creatives specifically. Now, let's start with step number 1. That's funnel hacking your best direct competitor. I always like to say, we don't have to spend millions of dollars ourselves to figure out what works and what doesn't. Why don't we just don't reinvent the wheel, just focus on what is working, the frameworks that brands that are direct competitors based on the products that we're selling, meaning that they're selling a very similar product or the exact same product. Let's go find and understand what exactly is working for them. And so I like to use a tool called Atra. Just say you know we're in the soap industry. We wanna find competitors that are directly selling soap or whatever that is. What we want to do, and I'll show you a direct example with another company, but what we want to do is go into Atra and break down everything to know everything about that direct competitor so we can exactly understand what is working for them. Just to show you how Atra actually work, this is the dashboard. You can go into the discovery section, type in a company. I just typed in Earth Breeze. This is like a laundry product they're running. The first thing that I like to do is before deciding on whether I want to funnel hack that competitor is I filter by active ads just to see how many active ads they're currently running. This company has 800 active ads. They're doing $30 to $40 million per year. They're also on Amazon and other places here and there. I just funnel hack the shit out of them, to be honest. Excuse me the French, but we literally just really funnel hack everything. And we look at the personas that they're targeting. We look at the ad angles. Okay, how are they actually promoting their ads? In what angle? In this case, they're doing environmental care, sustainable focus, health and safety benefits, right? Convenience, social impact, right? Things of this nature. And so we try to understand, okay, this brand sells with these types of ads to this exact offer, this exact funnel with these exact ad angles. So this is exactly how we funnel hack the company and the brand. We try to know what is working for them to the T, right? No things in the middle. So landing pages, once again, you can literally look at the landing page and where they're redirecting traffic to. So in this case, we're seeing that most of their traffic is going to this page. We open it up, looks something like this. We funnel hack their offer as well. We take a look at how the funnel overall looks like. Where are they redirecting traffic to? The ads, here, there. We try to understand that from a basis. Why is this important? Why is it important to understand the back end as well? Well, because if we don't understand the back end, how can we understand the front end? Meaning, if they're promoting a specific offer, there's probably a way to convert people and have people get to this offer on the front end, right? There needs to be a congruency, I always like to say, within the sales process. So we understand this congruency, and overall, this is what we do and what we start with. Going back to the forum over here, as you see, we study the hooks, the themes, the headlines, the emotions, and all these things. Ad angles, USP, desires, ad copies, and this is literally from them. Great, so what is the next step? As I say here, now that you did the research on your competitor, you need to understand these 2 things that are super, super important. Number 1, these are the 2 things that you need to get to 8 figures, I can promise you. Number 1, you need to scientifically be able to break down why winning ads are winning ads in the first place. There's no point of doing mass scale production with creatives if you don't exactly understand what makes or breaks a winning ad. And so once again, all of these answers are over here. And you might be asking, okay, but how do we understand if a winning ad is a winning ad for them? Well, first of all, you can use filters. You can filter by longest running ads. These are the longest running ads, been running since January. We break them down. We take a look at what they're doing over here. We take a look at their ad copy. But overall, you can also take a look at their ads library, literally open up their ads library and scroll all the way to the bottom to see what ads have been running for the longest periods of time. It's not loading, but for the longest periods of time. And so we literally look at that. Also, one other thing that you can do, just a nugget, is that you can literally go over here, shop, add to cart. Next, I'm just going to do it very quickly, add to cart, so that you are in their system and their ecosystem. So whenever they retarget you, and they will absolutely will, meaning that if you scroll through your feed, within 1, 2, or 3 days max tops, you're going to see their ads. You're also going to see their winning ads that have like the thousands of comments, because at the end of the day, we want to look for those types of ads and repurpose those types of ads. So be a little bit patient and also do the due diligence over here using this tool. Moving forward, we need this scientific breakdown on why winning ads are actually winners. And number 2, mass creative production scaling. You can't scale to 8 figures if you don't have this mass production, and you can't scale and do mass production if you don't have a scientific way to break down why winning ads are winners. Okay, the combination of these two things together get you to 8 figures. So let me start by breaking down how to scientifically break down why winning ads are winning ads. So it all starts like this. We go ahead and as I said before, we try to find the active ads, as you see over here, longest running. The ads have been running for the most part. Once again, add to cart, initiate checkout. If you want, you can also purchase if you want. I actually wouldn't, because in some cases, these brands exclude current purchasers because they don't want customers to see maybe new offers, right? So don't purchase, add to cart, initiate checkout, and get retargeted. Study their ads, choose the ad that you want to funnel hack, and then it's a step-by-step process where we also leverage ChatGPT, and I'll show you exactly step by step what we do for our clients, at least for the brands that we work with. And so let me shrink myself a little bit. Let's just say, for example, that this is the winning ad that we want to replicate or study. First of all, we take a look at what they're doing. Second of all, we look at what they're doing with their copy. Cool. We take notes, and then we transcribe it. We literally click on transcribe. And as you can see here, you can copy and paste the transcript of this video ad. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. I'm going to wait for it just a second. Either way, you copy it, boom, you go back over here into ChatGPT, and these are the scripts that we kind of follow that work quite well for us. And so we start over here. I just uploaded a winning ad. Oh, by the way, I forgot, really important, is the one thing that you want to do is actually also download the ad over here. You can download it, and then it's going to show up over here. Drag it and drop it into ChatGPT. And the one thing, by the way, that I absolutely recommend for you to do before I move forward here is to create a folder. Get 4.0, ChatGPT 4.0, and create a folder just that is, in this case, it's like client research is just a demo. As you can see, I have my own for Brandlux Media, my agency, but create your own, click on the research, and also add instructions. And this is what I told it. This is just a demo for you to see. This is my brand, and this is like, you know, my brand. It's like a detergent brand that is a direct competitor of this brand over here that we're studying. It's just a much smaller one. I think they're doing 5 million and they're doing 30 million. So it's a perfect scenario, a perfect example. I give it some context. This is just, I did it quickly, but give it your brand guidelines, give it your ideal persona customer, whatever. And I also say, I sell eco-friendly detergents. I'm looking to expand into DTC market, in the DTC market world, and I need help funnel hacking competitors and breaking down marketing creative concepts to replicate that actually work. You save it, and now what's going to happen is that this client research folder that I just created has instructions as a baseline. You can also add files to it to give it context. Then you can start a new chat. You literally type in, click enter, and it's going to create a chat that looks something like this. And this is where things really start to be really interesting. And let me show you what I've gotten back from this process. I uploaded my ad over here, and then I just ask it. I just uploaded a winning ad of my direct competitor. Please give me the following to send over to the creative team. And this is how you start breaking down ads, going back to this process over here. You get the script, you upload the video to ChatGPT, and you ask it for ad breakdown, ad frameworks, buying triggers, and required B-rolls. The B-rolls are essentially pieces of content, scenes, footage that are 10, 20 seconds long that you need to actually recreate that ad. And so this is exactly how we do it. Ad framework, buying triggers, ad breakdown, required B-roll. Give me the above for the video I just gave you. This is a script, the transcript of the video ad. Also make sure that you give the transcript because sometimes it doesn't catch all of the audio for some reason. So give it also the words. And this is what ChatGPT actually gave me, which is precisely to the T, like very precise. The ad framework. So in this case, we have a disruptive claim, stop washing your clothes with this X, Y, and Z, whatever, relatable story, problem revelation, personal testimonial shift. This is gold, guys. If you understand this framework, you are able to then replicate this exact same framework, or at least give it to your editing and editors and creative teams, creative strategists, so that they can easily reproduce what is working for this brand, right? And once again, if they're spending millions of dollars on it, it obviously works. So you better study this and what they're doing. What most people do is that they get components of these. So, okay, let me just do this emotional close. Let me try this disruptive claim. And they just forget about the middle pieces that actually create the winning ad in the first place. Then we have buying triggers in the ad. What are the buying triggers and buying motivations that is allowing conversion to happen in the first place? Right. First time ease, convenience, flexibility, product comparison, solution-oriented storytelling. Like all these this is literally gold, right? And then it also gives you a scene-by-scene breakdown, which this is also really, really cool because you can literally give this diagram to the creative editors and the creative team, and they literally have a framework of how to do the videos. Now they just need to get the script, put it in as a baseline in the video, add the right B-rolls, add the right elements, features, editing styles, whatever, and then give you and hand you over the final video. Editors and creative strategists will literally love you. They will love you, okay? If you give this to them, they will literally love you because it takes a lot of time and research to do all of this for them. And so if you can put everything into a playbook, this is super helpful. Then required B-rolls, talking head, confessional, parking lot in Walmart, toxic ingredients, visuals of toxic ingredients, right? In this case, they're selling a detergent that it's like, eco-friendly, and it's not like purple like the toxic ingredients they use for other washers. And so this detergent is very eco-friendly, and that's their selling proposition. And so reaction to the B-rolls, whatever, you get the point. I'm not going to go over this right now, but you get the point. And then what ends up happening is that you can go over here and put everything visually into literally a diagram that looks exactly like this one. Why is this important? Because guess what? You can do a screenshot of this or create this document for your brand and send it over to the creative team. And once again, these are just screenshots from ChatGPT. And the only thing that I added are literally just frames of the B-roll so that our editing team can literally visually see how the B-roll looks like and when they need to add it. And these are also filtered by seconds. Second 1, 2, 3, second 15 to 21. This is what happened here. Scene 5, scene 6, you get the point. Buying triggers, and then of course the B-rolls over here. This is exactly what you need. And this is just to go on a deeper level. I spoke about this in my other videos as well. But this is super important. The way that you actually do this is that you scientifically break down the ad by 3 to 5 seconds interval. You need to understand one thing. The winning ads are winning ads because there's a high retention. And if there's a high retention of the video, meaning that people watch the entire video, or at least most people, Facebook is going to appreciate that because you're having people stick on Facebook, Instagram, whatever the platform is, and they will decrease your CPMs. And because they're decreasing your CPMs, they're going to decrease your cost per clicks, give you better high quality traffic, and you're going to decrease your cost per acquisition overall. Hopefully you didn't lose me over there. And so we have this diagram that breaks down winning ads to the T scientifically by every 3 to 5 second frames. Once again, why is this important? It's because there's high retention analysis here. We're analyzing why this ad is retaining customers. And I'll just remind you on one very quick important thing. We have to understand that we lose focus every 3 to 5 seconds. Why is a hook important? Because if we lose people in the hook, literally there's a 0% chance that people are going to watch this entirety of the video. So the way that we treat all of the rest of the frames is literally by like a hook. We want literally 10 to 12 different hooks within the video, right? And it doesn't have to be like a hook like that is like what I understand what I mean by hook. It doesn't have to be that type of hook. It can be just a normal type of hook that hooks people back into the story without losing them. That's what I mean by hook, okay? So we have to understand this, and so we connect and add the required B-roll needed within that frame of seconds, meaning that in this 3-second frame we want this type of B-roll. In this 5-second frame we want another type of B-roll, and then we just add explanations. Which is super helpful for the creative team, and this is exactly how we do it. I really recommend for you to do this for at least like 10 winning ads. If you have 10 of these diagrams, once again your creative team is going to be really thankful for you. And the most important thing over here, and let's not forget, is the fact that you need to understand that the most important thing is to find or increase your ad win rate, right? Which is also why it's important to track all of these results. What we like to do is we like to use a command center that looks something like this. And within the command center, we have a creative testing tracker. Every single test that we put over here on the ad account, we track what we did with it. For example, test number 1, we used the creative concept, right? Feminine spirit creative concept, a marketing angle that looked like this. The main emotion was fun nostalgia. Avatar was this, hook was this. And so we basically break down literally why the ad worked or why the ad didn't work, or at least we put all the components of the ad and then we make a final conclusion. If you don't do this and don't break down things very scientifically and in a very boring way, you literally just hope that something sticks on the wall, and that is not what we want to do. That's how 6 and 7 figure brands operate, right? And yes, of course, you can find a winning ad, get to 7 figures, but that's easy. Like, it's also a bit of luck. It becomes luck if you don't have a repeatable process to replicate that winning ad. And that's how you get to 8 figures. And so guess what? The most important thing over here, as I was saying, is analyzing win rate. How many ads does it actually take me to find a winner that is at least decent, getting me ROAS and allowing spend to happen on the ad account? And typically, we want to stay between 10 and 20%. So for this client, for example, this is a demo, but we hit like 12%. So 1 in 8, I think 1 in 7, 8 ads are literally scalable winners. And so that's a very, very good proportion. And so this is also why you need to track everything, just so you have a clear analysis of what is your win rate. How many ads does it actually take you to find a winner that is scalable on your ad account? Super, super important. At the end of the day, we're optimizing for that. It doesn't make sense to do mass creative production if you don't have a scientifically broken methodology to understand why winning ads work. And so the combination of those two things, mass creative production and breaking down winning creative scientifically, allows you to increase that hit rate, that win rate, call it whatever you want. Super, super important, which is what my company optimizes for. Now, mass creative production. We talked about, once again, just to remind you, these two things over here. We need scientifically break down winning ads, and now let's talk about mass production, creative mass production. You need to understand that you need to go from this, right, to this other thing that I'm going to explain in just a second. This is typically, okay, 9 times out of 10, how a 7-figure business operates. You're doing maybe 50K, 100K, 300K, 500K a month. This is typically how it operates. You find you're scaling with some angles and you're scaling with some creative concepts. Let me just zoom in so you see it better. So you're scaling with maybe a couple of angles and you're doing some ads, maybe a dozen of ads here and there. They're working, they're scaling, good for you. And then you get the main winning angle, and you try to scale with creative concepts. And when I say scale with different creative concepts, I maybe mean like 4 or 5 or 6, nothing more than that. In fact, this should probably even be reduced. I was exaggerating this column as well. So you do the bare minimum, and it feels like you're doing a lot, but in reality, you're doing the bare minimum required for you to stay at the 7-figure run rate. And so you have to go from this to actually scaling this a lot more horizontally. And this is why you typically need to hire in-house or get an agency, get a team. But as you can see, this is the same exact diagram. The blue is the angles and the red is the creative concepts, but we're scaling everything as much horizontally as possible, which is allowing us to mass produce many, many, many more ads. In fact, this is how they're doing it. As you can notice over here, this funnel hack, this company that we're funnel hacking, if we take a look at their ad angles, we can literally understand and see how many ad angles they're using to promote the same exact product, okay? Same exact product, promoting it in so many different ways. And also different types of hooks, which is same thing with angles, right? I stopped washing my bed sheets and my life is so much better. Here's why. So here's just a quick side-by-side that shows Earth Breeze versus the competitor, right? And so they're different frames, different angle propositions, different offerings to the market, right? Super, super important. And then next thing over here is that we don't just want to stop with angles. We want to go deeper into the angles. So these are the winning angles. Let's just say as an example, we dive deeper by testing different creative concepts, right? And we spend 80% of our time on what is a winner. So this is why it says 80%. And then we spend 20% of our time on completely new creative concepts and completely new angles that we want to test. And just as a reminder, what is a creative concept? A creative concept is essentially something that looks something like this, right? So a creative concept could be a POV, a before and after, AI script, and us versus them, an educational video, reviews, unboxing, reaction video. And by the way, if you want access to resources like this one, you can actually just click the link below in the description and you can get access to this command center, which doesn't only have a bunch of creative concepts, like this is basically what I just showed you. It also has a creative testing tracker, ad copies, a visual tracker, UGC tracker. It has an ROI calculator, a daily report to put all of your numbers and everything is color coded. There's a lot of more resources about CRO, email marketing. The list goes on. There's a link down below. Get it. It's free. This is the exact same process we use for our 7 and of course 8-figure clients. So you might as well just use it for yourself as well. Moving forward, what else do we want to talk about over here? We need to understand that how do we actually get all of these creatives? It takes a lot of content to even if you have the team, it takes a lot of content to put all these pieces together, right? And so the strategy that we like to use the most is of course B-rolls, because it's super cheap. So we try to have a good understanding of the required B-rolls, which I spoke about over here, right? We need to have a good understanding of the required B-rolls that we need to reproduce winning ads. And once we have that understanding, we reproduce them by literally creating a B-roll folder that looks something like this. And I speak about this very often in my videos. This is literally a folder, a 20 to 30 page, it's not folder, it's a document that you literally send to your creative director, which sends to your UGC creators. And so it has frames and what you need with a small description and information. So whenever you reach out to the creator, you give them a UGC brief that looks something like this. And this UGC brief is essentially, you can stop through the video. I'm not going to go through everything. It has like shooting specifications and content brief, but I also have the required shots and B-rolls that we are looking for, and maybe the script as well. Okay, so just good to go back over here. This is how we do it. Once we have this brief of exactly the B-rolls that we need, we send it to the 3, 4, 5, 10 creators, and then we ask in some cases for a normal UGC videos, but in most cases we ask for B-rolls, which is the same exact price. You get the same exact price for 15, 20 different types of B-rolls compared to just one video and like 3 hooks, which is a standard UGC type of sales proposition that the creators pitch you with, right? 1 video, 5 hooks, 1 video, 3 hooks. Same price, same effort for them, but for this B-roll, they give you a lot more. And so what happens when they give you a lot more is that you put everything to a B-roll massive folder, and then you send them the B-roll folder, you send the editors a B-roll folder. I explain it over here actually. You put everything into a document and you give them the ad breakdown, bind triggers, all of the B-rolls that you collected from the UGC creators, the winning scripts, the ad frameworks, the winning ad inspiration, so they know exactly what we're trying to reproduce, and it's going to be so much easier for them to actually reproduce the winning ads. And this is should be in like a document format. It could also be in like a visual format, just like this one. This is literally, you can create this, you can personalize something like this for your brand, and this is going to be your visual board that your creative team, your creative strategists, your editors use to reproduce and recreate winning ads. And so I always like to say, create everything into a document everything, and this should be your holy grail, and you should continuously add to it and make it better. And so overall, this is, I know I went over a bit of similar video on this yesterday, but this should be the process overall. You find a competitor, you study their winning proven ads, you break down why the ads are winners, you understand, you gather the required B-rolls to make and reproduce those ads, and then you add everything into a master document, and then you send it to the creative team. This is going to be, just as an SOP explanation, is going to be the holy grail of actually hitting days that look exactly like this, right? Where we hit 250K in a day, $40,000 in a day, $30,000 in a day. That's the main difference. It's mostly the skill of finding more winning ads more frequently. I spoke to somebody just recently that has a 3 or 4 or 5% ad hit rate. That's so little. Like, it means like you need 100 ads to find 3. You need to test 100 ads to find 3 winners, okay? Or in other cases, maybe test 30, 40 ads to literally find one winner that could potentially not even be the real big winner that scales a lot. And so we want to increase, once again, we want to apply this process to increase the ad hit rate, the winning ad rate. That's how brands scale. Or else you're just scaling a broken funnel. It's like getting in a Ferrari that has a Fiat engine. Literally, that's the analogy that I would say. You have everything that you need, all the team, all your scaling production, but you don't have the Ferrari engine, right? And so vice versa also applies, right? And so this is the video. That's it. I literally wanted to talk about this thing. Sorry if I'm a bit repetitive with maybe my past videos if you are not a new viewer, but these things are really important. And that's it. My final message is, if you own a brand that does around $100,000 a month plus or minus minimum, and you want just a consultation, an audit, I like to say, just book in a call. There's nothing to lose. It's free. If there's synergy and we have spots available, then we can have a conversation about working together. If not, it's completely fine. Book in a call if you want, and definitely see you in the next video. Bye.